Hey guys, welcome to Brian's Man Cave. So today I'm doing another episode of Favorite Toys. Because I was just looking at some boxes of stuff in the basement and I saw this guy staring at me. And that's Metroplex. Although it's an incomplete version of Metroplex, it's still, still in pretty good shape. This is the one I had when I was a kid. I actually remember when he first came out. This was one of those toys where it's like definitely, goes on the Christmas list, like I want that for Christmas kind of thing. And yeah, I had a lot of fun with this. Now, the idea of Metroplex is he's supposed to be like a fortress or a city type of idea. And he's huge. If you watch the cartoon, if you ever watch the Transformers cartoon, and it's in the later ones, when Metroplex appears, he's really big. And it's funny because they kind of talk about Metroplex in the movie, the Transformers movie from the '86, the cartoon one. But this isn't Metroplex in the movie. Metroplex in the movie is like this big city, and they have to like manually transform it. So I think they kind of got the idea that maybe they should have like a transforming city, and so they made Metroplex. Now mine's missing a bunch of pieces, most notably the fist. I think I have one in a box in there with my toy stuff. Like I probably have one fist, but I lost the other fist. And this was common with a lot of Transformers, especially, parts all over the place. And this does have a lot of parts that came with it that obviously I probably don't have anymore. Like there was a piece that snapped on here. He had some guns and all the other fun stuff. But, I mean, as far as functioning, I mean, he still transforms, he does his bit. But yeah, I mean, and the thing is, too, I mean, you would think that if they were going to make him, they would make him huge. And what I mean by that is, here's Megatron, this is the first generation Megatron, and here's Metroplex. So, he's big, but he's not that big. In fact, even if I were to hold him up to Ultra Magnus or some of the other generation, later generation Transformers, Metroplex is kind of small. Now, sizing on Transformers was always a thing. You didn't always get scale. And, but my buddy, Retro Nostalgic Nerd, he's done a lot of Metroplex stuff. He's got, like, complete ones. But he's also got, like, these new ones that are made by a different company. The name escapes me. But it's not made by Hasbro like these were. They're kind of like, modern day companies that kind of recreate the Transformers. And they made one huge. Like, I mean huge. And so you can actually see the difference. But, I mean, all the same, I was still impressed with this. In fact, I could probably even still remember how to transform this guy. He did have a few modes of transforming, so you can actually turn him into like a city. He does have this little compartment there that comes out, and the ramp. You can see it's still dusty. I haven't dusted the poor guy. He's got a ramp that comes out there. I know this kind of like turned into a helipad, and his head. These are like guns on his head, I guess you could shoot. Kind of clicks in there. I like that the head wasn't removed. That way you don't worry about losing it. Then. I mean, transforming the guy is actually not that difficult once you know how to do it. It kind of like comes out like that, and it's like it's got areas for the cars and all that stuff to go on. Kind of neat. There's also another kind of I don't know if that was supposed to be turned around. There's also like a battle station kind of mode. Just clip that in there, where you kind of like set them up like this, something like that. And I don't know. It was like an alternative mode. I don't think you ever saw him transform into that in the cartoon. I don't remember ever seeing him transform like that. I always remember seeing him in his little city mode. But it was cool because you would set him up and you would play with your Transformers and stuff. You'd play with your, guys. You have your helipad there. Even in the back here, you can even open up his legs. I forgot that's part of the transformation there. And there's parts here. I'm just going to show that, where you could store your Transformers, some of the smaller guys, inside there and lock it up. So I believe this was part of his transformation as well. Really crickety. There. There we go. That's it. It's been a while since I played with these guys, It's So what happens when you leave them in a box in the basement for so long. You kind of forget this stuff. Then you come back to it all these years and you're like, how do you do that again? But you get the gist of it. Yeah, this isn't exactly how you're supposed to transform them. But, yep. Turn that around there. There we go. Full transformation. It's just really big when it's transformed in this manner. It's hard to get them all into the screen. But I still think he looks cool. He's even got some missile things that pop out there to shoot after you. If you want him to look badass, you just pop out his head. It stares at you while he's in his little battle mode or his CD mode. But yeah, I mean, to me, I just thought that this was really cool. And what I used to do is I'd always set him up into complete city mode and just leave him there with the transformers around him and stuff. A lot of possibilities on this little guy. Well, big guy. It's supposed to be a big guy. In fact, they did come up with a Decepticon version called Tripticon. I never had him. I never liked him that much. He's more of a, I guess he's like a dinosaur, like a Godzilla looking thing. Wasn't my cup of tea. Oh yeah, it's also got these little things that flip around here. Right there. Forgot about that. See, all these little things you just forget about over time. But still, pretty good showpiece. I've kept them this long. You know, it's not one of the ones I had to try and go after again, like, you know, this guy. This was not my first Megatron. My first Megatron was complete. This guy is just the gun. Kind of a shame. But yeah, I love pulling these things out every once in a while and taking a look at them, transforming them. I don't have a whole lot of space in my man cave to put everything there, so it's kind of a shame. You know, it's kind of why I kind of stopped buying toys for a while now, because just finding places to put them, it's just a shame to buy them and just kind of put them into a box and then forget about them. I don't know if I'll ever have a space big enough that I'll be able to display all these guys, especially when they're that big or when they're in, like, you know, their transformation mode, that they're in this kind of, you know, awkward position. Anyways, yeah, I just wanted to do a small video on Metroplex because it was one of my favorites growing up. I loved him and I loved Omega Supreme. I always loved the Giants and, of course, Devastator, the Constructicons. I loved all those giant things, but I only had Metroplex and Omega. Anyways, hope you liked the video. Throw some comments down below. Share some memories. If you had Metroplex, what was your favorite giant transformer? And do you remember him in the show? Throw it all down below. All comments are great. Anyways, hope you liked the video. Hope you subscribe to my channel. Talk to you later.